Welcome, everybody.
To a brand new series.
We'll be going over the greatest texts from the titans of the Romantic era.
And this one's a three-parter. Silent solitude, steady simplicity, and the soulful search for self. Thoreau's Walden.
Imagine a small cabin on the edge of Walden Pond, surrounded by quiet waters, trees, and the occasional wildlife. Time moves slower here, guided by natural rhythms rather than the demands and conforms of society. This is the world Thoreau establishes in Walden, a space where noise and societal pressure and material excess give way to reflection and clarity. His writing describes not only the physical setting, but also the mental experience of stepping away from social expectations. The reader is invited to feel the calm and freedom that come from living deliberately and in tune with nature. Thoreau suggests that true contentment comes not from wealth or conformity, but from the simplicity and awareness.
At the opening of Walden, Thoreau's sentences are reflective and conversational, often unfolding through long, explanatory clauses that resemble spoken thought. He frequently addresses the reader directly, drawing them into his reasoning about work and daily life. These longer sentences are punctuated by short, forceful statements that linger, such as, "The mass of man leads lives of quiet desperation." This contrast in sentence length mirrors the pace of life Thoreau advocates, slow and deliberate, and encourages readers to reconsider habits they normally accept without question.
In the beginning of Walden, Thoreau foregrounds simplicity and intentional living, arguing that excess labor and possessions distract from what truly matters. He introduces self-reliance by emphasizing personal responsibility and independence, showing how people become trapped by what they own. Thoreau also critiques industrial society, presenting modern life as unnecessarily burdensome and spiritually draining. Early on, he suggests that reflection and careful living, not constant work, are necessary for understanding one's true purpose.
Thoreau relies on personal anecdote and reflection, grounding his ideas in lived experience. He describes neighbors weighed down by property and labor, noting that many are well-nigh crushed and smothered under their load. He also uses contrast and irony, arguing that wealth does not create freedom, since the better part of the man is soon plowed into the soil for compost. By addressing the reader directly and using concrete examples, Thoreau makes his ideas about simplicity accessible and persuasive.
In the middle sections of Walden, Thoreau's sentence becomes more expansive, combining observation with social critique. He layers descriptions of daily labor, time, and habit into longer reflections that unfold at a steadier pace. This sentence structure encourages readers to trace connections between how people live and how they think. The rhythm supports Thoreau's belief that insight requires patience rather than speed.
Thoreau develops the idea that society creates a form of self-imposed bondage, arguing that people are constrained by labor, debt, and unnecessary wants. He critiques conformity and materialism, suggesting that constant work is often mistaken for necessity. Nature continues to serve as a teacher, offering clarity when contrasted with human excess. Thoreau also emphasizes time and mindfulness, showing that slowing down allows individuals to regain control over their lives.
Thoreau uses extended examples and reflection to support his critique, especially when discussing labor and obligation. He compares human labor to bondage, repeating the claim that men lead lives of quiet desperation, reinforcing the emotional force of his argument. Metaphor strengthened his message, particularly when he describes people spending their lives paying debts rather than living freely. Through appeals to logic and personal credibility, Thoreau guides readers to question the structure of industrial life.
Toward the conclusion of the excerpt, Thoreau's sentences become more direct, often resolving in clear statements. While still reflective, the syntax tightens, signaling resolution rather than exploration. This shift mirrors the clarity Thoreau gains through deliberate living and leaves the reader with a sense of direction.
By the end of the excerpt, Thoreau emphasizes intentional living and individual purpose, urging readers to resist conformity and follow their own values. He presents nonconformity as a meaningful choice rather than rebellion. Simplicity and self-awareness emerge as tools for living well in a society driven by excess. Walden responds to romantic and transcendentalism ideals that truth and self-knowledge are discovered through nature, not society. It critiques industrial capitalism, including mills, mass production, and time clocks, that made people slaves to their work. Social debates over slavery, the Mexican-American War, and the roles of individual conscience shaped Thoreau's philosophy of civil disobedience. His works challenge the era's assumptions about success, progress, and happiness, instead for independence, mindfulness, and moral integrity. That will be the end of our analysis, and on behalf of me and Leo, I just want to thank all of you guys for watching.
Dhanyawad tayo, Beno. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe and smack the notification bell.